Hello and welcome to the Curator Salon podcast. I'm your host, Geeta Joshi, and today I am excited to share with you my guest, Siddhant Khattri from Vedica Gallery based in Mumbai. Welcome, Siddhant.
Hi, Geeta. First of all, thank you so much for hosting me on your podcast. And it has been lovely to see the Art Scene magazine, and I have been reading that magazine for quite a while now. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's always interesting to meet readers of Art Scene magazine, actually. I was in Mayfair about a week ago, and sometimes I get recognized when I go around town. And one of the people running the gallery sort of, asked, "Are you Geeta Joshi?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's right." And then she said, "Oh, I've got all your magazines at home," you know. So yeah, it's great that it's reaching all the right people. But I wanted us to talk about your gallery. I know you have a base in Mumbai, but actually you have an international presence. Can you share some some more info about your background and yeah, help our listeners get to know you a bit more?
The gallery started with an aim to dissolve the boundaries in the art world. And soon it became like a place where we are representing artists from all over the world right now. And like the artists are based in US, they are based in Canada, Mexico, Singapore, and UK, and Greece, and uh, many other countries for that matter. What the nature of the gallery is, the theme of the gallery is the contemporary cosmopolitan culture that's prevalent in the art world, and that's what we promote via our gallery. Additionally, we are also providing like advisory services to the artists so that they can navigate well in the art world. And that is where, so the gallery started like an advisory services for the artist. And that is where my background comes as a strategy oriented. I have a strategy oriented career. I used to work with Budweiser, and before that, I was working with the Cafe Coffee Day for like a beverage company in India. It was all like a strategy oriented job for me. But what I found was that many of these frameworks and the organized way of approaching many industries was missing in the art world. And it was very important for the artist when they're navigating through when they're devising their own career in the art world. It was very important for them to know how to approach and what's the art of approaching, what's the science of approaching. And how to network with the people, which came very easy for me given my background as a management person. And additionally, like I have been an artist since my childhood, and I understand creativity very closely. So it's like a very rare combination, I would say. That's what people call that. It's like I can understand the mind of a creator and combine it with the management style of things and like make it work accordingly. So yeah, this is this is primarily the background of my background, and like that is clearly reflected in the gallery's background. Yeah.
Awesome. I know that idea of, what did you call it? Cultural cosmopolitan, which thinking of like artists like Rajul Shah that you represent and who actually introduced us, she's of Indian origin, born and raised in America, lives in Singapore. Like, she's yeah, kind of, really got her bases all over the place. I think she lived in Japan as well for a while. Does the gallery have any kind of aesthetic or direction in that respect?
One of the things that we look for in an artist is that they have to be highly disciplined in their career, and additionally a strong ethic. So this is one of the strong aspects. Beyond that, when we are selecting the artworks, it is highly dependent on the theme of the show that we are running. Like for example, we had a recent show unveiling currently, and this was about reinterpreting narcissism. So the selected artworks were decided based on the theme, and the curator sat down, and many of our team members also sat down together to select the artworks and decide the storyline. Additionally, Fina was the performance artist from Mexico. So, like, as you mentioned about Rajul, the thing that Rajul, for example, is bringing is that the cosmopolitan culture behind her. And that's what, like, for example, she's working on a theme. Although she is Indian born, she's working on the theme of kintsugi, which is the concept born in Japan. So these are some of the things that we look for. There has to be something that is different, unique, but still tied up with there is a common thread among all the cultures that require that kind of a concept. Like healing is a concept currently which is required in many, narcissistic, abusive relationships. And this is where we are coming up with this Paris show in the month of June. That's happening in the first week of June in Paris, in which case Rajul's work will be exhibited. And it is an extension of Unveiling show. So we are looking for the artists who have strong work ethic, and additionally, they bring something unique, maybe a concept, maybe a style, or maybe a presentation, or their own personality for that matter. So overall, it has to be like a addition in the entire coterie of representation, and that's what enhances the outlook of the gallery.
I love that. Yeah, I think that actually shows that maturity within their practice as well, right? It's really interesting. One of the things I think that's really interesting about the gallery is that you work with artists across various disciplines. And Fina, I think you mentioned her already, but certainly on the themes of narcissism, this is something that she explores, but she's a performance artist. Can you share a bit more about, well, both her work and also working with performance artists? Because as a curator, I think that, it poses its own challenges.
Performance art was something that was very new to me 4 to 5 months ago. It was until Fina met me, and that was the time when she introduced it. And I was like, how we can integrate that as, like in the uh, curatorship program of ours. And it was quite challenging in the beginning, but what I found is that performance art has got a lot and lot of potential, and especially if you're working with artists like Fina, because they are, first of all, Fina is an artist who is based out of Mexico and was born in Mexico. Additionally, she is working on the concept of cultural commentary. So she worked on this. This was her first performance with us in Mumbai, and this was her first performance in Mumbai. But the point is that, like, she was working on the reinterpretation of narcissistic abusive relationships and how to be more authentic. And what I saw was that although on the outlook it might feel that performance art is quite difficult to integrate with the entire curatorship program, but it becomes more easy for you as a curator of the show when you are having a performance during the opening, because that is the connecting link between all the artworks. And that I think people like Fina, artists like Fina, can do really well. So she was the one who was connecting the works by Barbara and Susan from Canada and Barbara from US. So she was the one who was connecting that and creating a story based on the personal experiences that all of us have had in terms of like how we became more authentic in the narcissistic environment. So it was more like a colleague working with you when it comes to performance art, who is taking care of the minutest aspect of having a great for the visitor to have a greater experience and to take something back, which is a story or a feel that people can reminisce about.
On the subject of planning those events, like, you said it's like having a close colleague, that's more of a collaboration. What is your role within that? Is that more like are you supporting with creative direction, or really kind of fulfilling the artist's vision in like that experience that they want to convey?
Uh, well, I usually sit down with the artist and have, like, first of all, it starts with a very without any aim kind of a talk. and it flows, which gives me an idea that what is their, imagination, what kind of style of thoughts they have. And accordingly, I integrate that in our, the entire curatorship program. Like, for example, this year, we are participating in several art fairs all around the world, be it Istanbul or Cologne or, in Istanbul, we are having this noise media art fair, and it will be happening in the month of September. But the topic is again creative technology. So it's a global topic. What we do is, like, when we sit down with the artist, I like usually have this style of having a long conversation, an in-depth conversation of understanding their personality and their agendas and their vision. And slowly I start integrating. I think something happens in me, which helps me to integrate that into our entire curatorship program. So it gives them the freedom to express themselves through their art, and it helps me in terms of having that, additional idea which I might have not thought of. So I keep that uncertain level outside my domain of imagination as a scope. And then I start integrating those ideas, bits and pieces of those ideas. And obviously, like, there might be some cases because of operational constraint or logistical constraint, we cannot have so and so kind of a show in so and so kind of a city because of some cultural constraints sometimes. But the whole plan is to see it from a long-term perspective. If we are, like, for example, not having a certain kind of theme implemented in Mumbai, we are going to definitely implement it in Paris, or we are going to definitely implement it in Istanbul. But those ideas start to stay with us. And it's like a collective conscious effort that we are making as a team. The whole, I would say, like, be it Rajul, be it Fina, be it Susan or Barbara, everybody is so supportive in this whole program that it helps me a lot, and it provides me with a lot of energy to start working on those creative ideas from a management perspective. So yeah.
Love that. Just again, just staying on the subject of performance art, is there a documenting process? Because, when we think of some of the bigger known, like Marina Abramovich type of performance artists, a lot of that archive is only there because it's, digitally recorded or in videos and things like that. Is this something that you do as well, or not necessarily? Or is even the video performance or the recording its own output?
Okay, so documenting happens in many different ways. In fact, it's like an infinite possibility in documenting performance art. So first is the video, then the second is the photographs that you click. Then the third form is the dress, the props that the artist creates for the show. So those kind of things become like a souvenir, but it's not actually souvenir, it's like an artwork which the performance artist wore and or used, like a stick, for example, or a mask for that matter. So these are some of the methods. Additionally, testimonials that are given by the people who visited, during the performance, or maybe people who start writing articles about that. So all of that is a form of documenting that very. So we had like two people, Doron Brids from he's among the student board of governor in Arts University Plymouth. He wrote an article, and like again one of our artists, Joas Nebe from Germany, he wrote an article when he saw the performance, and he wrote an article the way he was experiencing it. So these are some of the ways that we try to document it. Additionally, like the invitation cards and the tickets, these all things are considered like a form of artwork once the performance has happened.
So interesting, because like performance is just like not my area at all. I wanted to look forward to some of the things you've got coming up this year. You're in Paris in, did you say it's in May? And then I think you're doing Tokyo Art Fair as well. Can you share more about some of these projects and the fairs you've got coming up?
One of the bigger art show that we are doing is in the month of June. That's in Paris. That will be an extension of Unveiling, but it will be a different interpretation. of unveiling. It will be like an extension of that theme. And additionally, after that, so that will be one of the best shows in Paris, I would say, given that like we have six artists and it will be largely driven by the woman artist. Fina will be again performing there, and Barbara, Susan's, and Rajul's work will be there. Two more artists will be disclosed later. And then beyond that, like we have one of the shows that we are planning in New York in the month of August. If not New York, alternatively, we have a plan to implement it in, this in Mumbai. Then we have one of the art fairs, Noise Media Art Fair, as I earlier mentioned, in Istanbul in the month of September. And then Art Cologne, Vienna Contemporary, and Art Mumbai and Tokyo Art Fair. This is our plan for September to November. In the meantime, we are like just quickly gonna have like one more, it's a tentative plan as of now, but last week of April or the starting of May this year, we are collaborating with the Consulate of Mexico, and we are going to have like one art show in Mumbai like next month. In the month of April, we are going to start with the Global Open Studio Day, which is about people visiting throughout the globe. People will be visiting via Zoom or physically with our represented artist, and it will be about celebrating April as an art month. So yeah, like we have quite a lot of exhibition programs coming up. Yeah.
That's yeah, it's a pretty intense program. Global Studio Day, or yeah, is that what you called it? Is that a gallery-led project, or is that something, independent artists beyond the gallery's roster are taking part in?
So it's like a gallery-led project. So our represented artist will be having like a dashboard on our website, and people can go and have like, so basically one artist will have 3 days of open studio, in which case you can book or schedule a call with them, and like a 1 hour call, and have like a studio tour, and they will discuss about their artistic practice. So that's the plan, and we will move from the east most part of the world, which is basically in our case Singapore, for us, because Rajul is staying in Singapore. And we'll start with Rajul, and then we'll move towards US and Canada. That is the west part of the world. So that's the plan. So everyone will be having like a 3 day program, and then it will be shifting from east to west step by step. And it might extend until mid of May, given that like we have 12 to 13 artists that are gonna participate in this. We have like in total 15 to 16 artists as of now, but we are planning to do it with 12 to 13 artists. So that's like, so yeah, every third day it will be, a new artist, and you can book a call with them, or you can physically, if they are based in your city, then definitely you can visit them during that time. So that is the whole idea, is to promote people directly when it comes to their artistic practice, and like have like a direct touch with the artist who is behind the scenes when it comes to the art shows.
Love it. Yeah, I have one of my most popular classes is about hosting effective studio visits, and it really is an interesting way to have those conversations with artists about their practice, and in a much more low key way than compared to, meeting people at exhibitions even. So for anybody that might want to join the studio visits or attend a studio visit online or in person, what do we do? Are you going to send a link that I can put in the show notes so that they would just log in? Do they need to make appointments with the artists? How does that work?
Yes, the dashboard is getting developed by the tech team right now, and it's in the making. So once it is developed, I will be sharing the link with you. And it is about just going there on the website, and there will be a selection of Zoom calls, and you can directly get in touch with the artist, and you can discuss when is the right time, because it's like all the time zones are going to be different. So according to their time, it will start at 11 a.m. And it will end by their 7 p.m. So in between, if they want to have like 2 or 3 calls, or sometimes more than three or four calls, it will be a good idea, but it has to be managed accordingly. So the tech team is developing that software, in which case like the dashboard will be available in the next 10 days, most probably. So yeah, I will be sharing it with you personally.
I will update the show notes with the link as soon as that is ready. It's so interesting, isn't it? You start a business and then you realize you have to kind of move into tech and all sorts of developments, and it's yeah,
Oh
interesting.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Something else I wanted you to share a little more about was some of the international shows you've got, like the one in Paris that you've mentioned coming up. That one was made possible because of your networking, really, and putting
Yeah.
effort into that and developing global partners in a way. Can you share more about that journey and how that's been supportive to you?
Well, I would say that I have been blessed with, a great team, and we have like a global team of consultants and art dealers and historians and critics who are working with us, and they're completely dedicated people. So one of the consultants, Senya, is from Paris, and she's based in Paris, and she used to work with Christie's. So I and Senya and Jessica Abi from Miami. She's an art dealer based in Miami. So we are working on these concepts. We are thinking of like how we can, create more opportunities for such kind of opportunities. So I had a talk with Jessica recently about this. So like how we can, have more and more international presence, and given that what kind of space will be the best suitable area for the artist to showcase and for the people to come in, and like all of that we are considering. So yeah, like I would say my team is very strong, and additionally, um, the networking that has been done, it has been done when you go there and like you physically visit and you have these sort of dinners with them, and you understand that their passion is in sync with your passion. And I think it's more about creating a long-term relationship. uh, this is how I think when I'm going forward. Uh, Many people are confused whether networking is like a transaction that happens, like a give and take, that transactions are successful or it is a failure. But in networking, it doesn't work like that. Networking is more like a long-term relationship that keeps on going. And many a times people are not active during the beginning of the days, but then they become active after a few days. And it's like, it's like friendships that we have. It's like connections that you create without any specific aim. That this I want from this human, because that's not gonna happen. Like that's not the thought process that neither of the gallery owner wants this from the any of the artist, or the artist also who are looking forward. Like for example, I'm not saying that all the artists are doing that, but many artists are having this desperation to have a representation in a gallery, and that is very transactional in nature, which impedes, they don't understand, but that impedes the whole process of getting a representation with the gallery, because it's like you're needy for something, and that's what happens after the representation. You don't have any idea. So in the same format, when you are networking or building a team, what I think is that like my way of working is that I never ever go into the micromanagement aspect of things, and it is all about like giving the complete freedom to the person who wants to work whenever they want to work and whatever their idea is to work on. So I think that creates a strong bond between the team members, and that creates like a more powerful connect, which leads us to start working on newer ideas. Like for example, this global open studio day is a newer concept, or maybe Zoom visit during the show, during the opening day, is a newer concept. But all that happens when there is a free flow in conversation without somebody needing something. So when I go and network with, whether it is gallery owners or like I'm sitting with the gallery owners, or I'm sitting with any collector, or for that matter, with any industry leaders, or my team members. It is the same aspect of, exploring where they are right now, what kind of probably their problems that they are facing, or they are trying to solve a problem, and understanding that how we can creatively work together is something that creates such kind of, shows that is one of the shows happening in Paris that we are discussing right now.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing it. I think you said it really eloquently, but I think the idea of seeing the idea of networking as transactional, and that's probably a really good word for it, is what is happening. And I think that is something that in the audience that I have, some of the people I've worked with, is where they see it as there's some expectation out of it. If I even ask people like, are you going to openings and meeting people and things like that, they'll say like, oh, but I don't want to go and pitch myself. And it's like, I didn't say pitch yourself. I just said, did you go to, somebody's opening? And so seeing these kind of environments or, meetings and connections as, like you say, transactional is actually the thing that might be hindering, that progress, right? I always say, like, whether it's like with studio visits or anything else, if anything, you're just, opening the door to the next conversation, and whatever happens or doesn't happen, there's still several conversations away. And that's all you need to aim for if there is a goal out of it.
What people don't realize is that there is a term called network effects in, like, that's a management term. But network effects is the method that these social media, groups like Instagram or Snapchat, or for that matter, Facebook or LinkedIn are working. And the fact is that many people think that if I'm going to, like, let's say as an artist, if I'm going to a gallery, whether that gallery is relevant for me, is it going to represent me? If you have so many, ideas beforehand, you will never go, and you will never ever, actually find it out. If you go there, maybe it's not the right gallery for you to represent, but if they become your good friends, they are going to keep you in their mind, and they're definitely going to recommend you to the one which will be the right person. Like, that's how I and you met. Like, I met Rajul, and Rajul knows you, and like that's how like good people know good people, and that's how you create a world that is better. That's a better place. But you need to be in touch with the people, and that's what it's about. Showcasing and exposing your maybe vulnerabilities at the same time. And it's not only about coming with that strength and like I have to be perfect kind of attitude, but just be good enough, go ahead, try that out, and then maybe you will experiment in the beginning, but you will know your direction eventually, what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. And this idea of networking, that if I wish someone happy birthday or happy new year, that's networking, I think that needs to go now. Given that most of the people who are wishing me happy birthday or happy new year are not the people I want to really talk to, or I have ever, my best friends or my even business colleagues, they often forget to wish you birthdays because they are talking to you every day. So those are the people you really want to be in touch with. And that's actually networking. Networking is nothing else but the relationships that you're building. And in a relationship, there is no goal. Uh, Although there can be a goal in terms of a conversation to make it more productive, but that's like a one set thing that you're doing together. It's about being in sync together with the same idea or with the same vision that we have to make this happen, or we have to make this business run in so and so ways. So in that way, like, you don't need the other person to, like, you to take something away from them. It's about giving, and it can be a compliment, it can be an idea, it can be working together, and it can be many different ways, which is not exactly like, if I'm not benefiting from this relationship, then I need to step out. Or, like, obviously I'm not asking everybody to be at a loss, but what I'm thinking is like a little bit of change in the mindset can lead to building stronger relations rather than these transactional relations, which will not last. And that's why success in the art world is, very rare for the artist, given that they do not understand in the beginning. And that's something that's a chicken and egg situation for the artist.
I mean, if it is events that people are thinking about and that is making them nervous, I think going with a more generous or a giving perspective can also help. It's like, you know, what, like you say, right? Give a compliment, support the show. It can be as simple as talking about it on socials, right? So going with like how you can help somebody else, and that gift of attention is, you know, just kind of softens that hardness of like, oh my God, I need to get something out of it. Or what, you know, yeah, I just think, you know, you kind of just need to head out if you are going to, let's say, gallery openings or meetings, or, you know, you get invited to talks and things like that. It's just that, like, one, have a good time. And if
Exactly.
at best, like, expect to have a great conversation, like make that your intention for the evening, if that's all it is. And that's that. I think, like I say, you know, one conversation leads to another, and you'll know if you're going to stay in touch or not. Siddhant, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Is there anything else you would like to add, and where can people find you online?
Geeta, first of all, I would personally like to invite you to the Global Open Studio Day program. And you can obviously book during the Open Studio Day tour with Rajul and with Barbara, Susan, and Fina, as we talked about. And it's just like a 1 hour call during so that will be a great idea. I will share the link with you. And where people can find us, basically the website is vedica@gallery.com. And apart from that, on Instagram, I am by the name of Siddhant Khattri _art. And Vedic Art Gallery is the handle of the gallery page.
Amazing. I will add links to all of that in the show notes so everybody can go and follow. I look forward to Open Studio Day. I may see you in Paris, and look forward to staying in touch. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much, Geeta, for providing me with this opportunity. And I'm very happy to see the Curator Salon and overall Art Scene magazine. We are going to work together on promoting the Art Scene magazine in different shows, especially in Paris this time.
I love that. Thank you so much for your support.